Scene script. Have you ever wondered about the challenges of transitioning from ISO 27001:2013 to ISO 27001:2022? Today, we'll uncover the potential pitfalls you may encounter. The first challenge that comes to mind is understanding the changes in requirements. The updated standard may introduce new or modified requirements, which could dramatically impact your existing information security management system, or ISMS for short. Grasping these changes and their implications can be a daunting task. It's like learning a new language. You need to familiarize yourself with new terms, concepts, and rules to fully understand and apply them. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you're used to driving on the right side of the road, and suddenly, you need to switch to driving on the left. It's not just about changing lanes, you need to reorient your entire perspective, from the placement of road signs to the direction of roundabouts. Similarly, transitioning to the updated standard requires you to reevaluate your existing ISMs, understand the new or modified requirements, and assess how they impact your current system. But it doesn't stop there. You also need to ensure that your team, from top management to the operational level, understands these changes. This is crucial because the successful implementation of an ISMS is not a one-person show. It requires the collective effort of the entire organization. So you need to ensure that everyone involved in the ISMS implementation has a clear understanding of the updated requirements, their roles and responsibilities. However, understanding the changes is only half the battle. The real challenge lies in translating this understanding into practice. You need to align your existing ISMs with the updated requirements, which might require significant modifications. In conclusion, understanding the changes in requirements is a significant challenge in transitioning from ISO 27001:2013 to ISO 27001:2022. It requires a clear understanding of the new or modified requirements, effective communication within the organization, and a practical approach to align the existing ISMs with the updated standards. Understanding changes is the first step towards a successful transition, but it's just the beginning. Moving on, let's delve into the resources and documentation updates required for this transition. As we transition from ISO 27001:2013 to ISO 27001:2022, it's essential to understand that this shift might require additional resources. These resources are necessary for training, awareness, and implementation of the updated standard. It's a bit like gearing up for a long journey. You need to ensure your backpack is filled with all the essentials to make the journey smooth and successful. Training is crucial, as it equips your team with the knowledge to understand and implement the new standard effectively. Awareness sessions are equally important to ensure that everyone in the organization understands the changes and the rationale behind them. Implementation, on the other hand, is where the rubber meets the road. It's the practical application of all that knowledge and awareness, transforming theory into practice. All these steps are integral to the transition process and require careful consideration while allocating resources. Moreover, updating existing documentation to align with the new standard is another critical aspect of this transition. This process can be time-consuming, akin to spring cleaning your house. You'll need to review and update policies, procedures, and risk assessments to ensure they reflect the updated standards requirements. It's not just about changing the date from 2013 to 2022, but ensuring all your documentation is in line with the new standard. This might seem like a daunting task, but remember, it's an opportunity to streamline your processes and make them more efficient. In conclusion, resource allocation and documentation updates are two significant aspects of transitioning to ISO 27001:2022. They may pose challenges, but they're also opportunities to improve your information security management system. It's all about being prepared and taking one step at a time. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. Allocation of resources and updating of documentation can be challenging, but they are crucial for a smooth transition. Now, let's tackle the cultural shift required and the changes in risk assessment. As we transition from ISO 27001:2013 to ISO 27001:2022, there's a significant shift that needs to occur within the organization. This isn't about changing the color of the office walls or rearranging the furniture. No, this is a cultural shift. It's about how we think, how we behave, and how we approach information security management in our day-to-day operations. Cultural change is often one of the most challenging aspects of any transition. Why? because it requires individuals to change their habits, their mindsets, and their ways of working. It's not enough to simply tell employees about the new standards. They need to understand them, embrace them, and apply them in their work. This is where leadership plays a critical role, setting the tone, leading by example, and fostering a culture that values and prioritizes information security. Now let's move on to risk assessment. The updated standard places a greater emphasis on certain aspects of risk assessment and treatment. This means we have to look at our existing practices through a new lens. We must ask ourselves, are we identifying all potential risks? Are we assessing them accurately and thoroughly? And most importantly, are we treating them effectively to minimize their impact on our operations? Risk assessment isn't a one-time process, it's continuous and dynamic. As our business evolves, so do our risks. The ISO 27001-2022 standard recognizes this and encourages organizations to regularly review and update their risk assessments. This ensures that our risk management practices stay relevant and effective, protecting our information assets in a constantly changing business environment. So, as we embark on this journey of transition, let's remember, it's not just about ticking boxes or meeting requirements, it's about creating a culture that values security and managing risks proactively. It's about building an organization that's resilient, secure, and prepared for the future. Cultural change and risk assessment are key elements in the transition process, demanding careful attention. Effective communication and training are paramount in any transition process. As we traverse the journey from ISO 27001-2013 to ISO 27001-2022, this statement rings especially true. The task of conveying the changes to stakeholders and offering adequate training to employees can be a formidable one. However, it's not just about imparting knowledge, it's about fostering understanding and cultivating a shared vision. Picture this, you're navigating through a dense forest and your map has just been updated. How do you ensure everyone in your team understands the new paths and landmarks? You communicate and train, you explain the changes, demonstrate how they affect the journey, and equip your team with the skills and knowledge to navigate the new terrain. Likewise, in the context of our ISO transition, it's essential to clearly communicate the changes and provide comprehensive training on the updated requirements, yet the challenge doesn't end there. As we move forward, we encounter another hurdle: integration. The updated Information Security Management System, or ISMS, isn't an isolated entity. It needs to harmonize with other management systems within the organization, be it quality management as per ISO 9001 or environmental management in line with ISO 14001. Imagine trying to integrate different musical instruments to create a symphony. Each instrument has its unique tone, rhythm, and volume. The challenge lies in ensuring they all play in harmony, creating a beautiful, cohesive sound. Similarly, integrating our updated ISMS with other management systems requires careful orchestration. It necessitates a deep understanding of the unique features of each system and how they can work together to create a cohesive, secure, and efficient organization. In conclusion, the path to transitioning from ISO 27001-2013 to ISO 27001-2022 is not without its challenges. Effective communication, comprehensive training, and successful integration are significant hurdles we need to overcome. But remember, these challenges are not insurmountable. With careful planning, clear communication, and continuous training, we can navigate through this transition smoothly. Communication, training, and integration are significant challenges, but with careful planning, they can be effectively managed. Finally, let's discuss the challenges related to third-party relationships, timing, and auditing. As we transition from ISO 27001-2013 to ISO 27001-2022, these areas present their own unique obstacles. Firstly, third-party relationships. If your organization relies on external services or has a supply chain, you need to ensure that these entities also comply with the updated standard. This can be a complex process. It's not just about your own systems and procedures, but about the practices of your partners, suppliers, and contractors. You need to have a level of trust and understanding with these third parties and a robust process for verifying their compliance. Then there's the challenge of timing. The transition to a new standard isn't something that can be done overnight. It requires careful planning, resource allocation, and execution. You may be dealing with complex processes or a large-scale and distributed information security management system. The deadlines for transition can seem tight, and the pressure to meet them can be intense. But remember, rushing through this process can lead to mistakes and oversights. Last but not least is the challenge of auditing and certification. Transitioning to the updated standard means engaging with external auditors. This can be a demanding process, requiring meticulous preparation. You need to be able to demonstrate that your systems and processes not only comply with the new standard, but that they're being effectively managed and continuously improved. It's not just about ticking boxes, it's about proving the integrity of your information security management system. These challenges may seem daunting, but with the right guidance and resources, they can be successfully overcome. Remember, the journey to ISO 27001-2022 is not just a challenge, but an opportunity to improve your information security practices and build a more resilient organization.